This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV at Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It is Tuesday, October 4th.
Well, hundreds of people were able to receive free medical this past weekend as Remote Area Medical made its 7th visit here to Pahrump. Organizers and local volunteers say by all accounts, it was another big success.
I was so excited to see on Saturday morning when we showed up, there was so many people lined up along the fence, and we had all the parking spots taken. And so it was just awesome to see the people in our community take advantage of the medical event that we had going on. The dental, the vision, the medical, the mental health, it was just great.
We had a great year. It's our 7th year, and I think it was fantastic. We really had a lot of great people out here. Saw a lot of patients who were really appreciative, so that's always the goal. It's pretty crazy. We turned the Pathways building into an entire, basically, hospital. And so the Ram truck has the vision lab that is quite impressive. They made hundreds of glasses there this weekend. So it's been nice.
My title is Telehealth and Disaster Manager, but what I really do is I follow Stan's mission to bring free quality health care to those in need by helping execute these free pop-up clinics in various communities across the United States. We provide free health care, dental care, vision care, medical care, veterinary care across the United States.
This is really a passion, isn't it?
It is. It's a calling, one might say.
Absolutely free, no charge, no qualifications. You get in line, and if you are willing to stay in line, then you get seen. It is a long period of wait. I mean, most of the people were lining up on Friday evening, and so they were having to spend the night. They get up in the morning, they come inside, and then there's more lines. So yeah. It's a long wait, but then there was people that had hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of medical care provided over these last couple of days. Yeah. So it's worth it.
We saw over 350 patients and something about $160,000 in value of care. So it's a very good weekend.
We always want to make it as easy as possible on our medical volunteers and on the core RAM folks. So it takes us general volunteers that I don't have medical expertise. A lot of the volunteers here don't have medical expertise, but it takes us helping show people where to go, filling out the paperwork, doing the computer work. So it takes all that to help kind of make it smooth for the people that come in and do the medical parts.
We did have a dinner to thank our sponsors. This year we crossed $1 million in care to the community, and so we're really just proud of that fact. We feel blessed. RAM typically only goes one place once. Our community has just been so great to the volunteers, to RAM, and they see the need, and so they continue to come as long as we'll have them.
That RAM event is sponsored locally by Nye Communities Coalition. Next year's event is already scheduled for the first full weekend in October. For more information about volunteer opportunities, contact Nye Communities Coalition. You can also learn more about RAM at ramusa.org.
And a woman featured on the On Patrol live TV show is arrested again for a stabbing at her residence.
Monica McEwen has been arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and battery. According to the declaration of arrest by the Nye County Sheriff's Office, on September 29th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched here in Pahrump to a home in reference to a female who had allegedly attacked a person with a knife. Upon arrival, they found a person who said that they were attacked by Monica. They said that Monica attacked them because that person was helping the people that were holding her hostage and drugging her. When speaking with Monica, they discovered blood on her hand and wrist. When asked if she tried to kill the individual, she declined to answer. The victim was transported to Desert View Hospital. They reported to police that they were taking a nap inside the bedroom when they heard a knock on the door. As the male individual opened the door, Monica proceeded to stab him multiple times with a knife. He was stabbed in the face, head, and neck, and hands. Monica said to him that he was the enemy while she was stabbing him, according to police. Officers report that the individual was stabbed multiple times with 2 kitchen knives. This is not the first time this individual has been stabbed by Monica inside this home. On September 2nd, deputies were called to the same location in regard to another stabbing that had occurred. At that time, Monica was holding a knife at her side and the blade pointed towards this individual. Then she allegedly ran towards him aggressively while holding the knife in her hand. At that time, he was able to run away. However, he was stabbed in the forehead with the knife. She was arrested at that time for assault with a deadly weapon. McEwen was arrested by police and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center.
Well, the men and women who volunteer day and night countless hours for the county are training some new recruits currently. We caught up with some of the Nye County auxiliary units over the weekend.
This was a part of our field training program for new recruits. One of the duties they have to do is perform traffic control at accidents or fires or special events. And in the past we've tried to do this training on the job and in real time. But this time we tried something new where we actually closed off a small section of road so that we could control the situation and conduct our training without interfering with the public's access anywhere. We did do a classroom session earlier in the morning where we went through the basics of what the duties that are and the way we do handle traffic control, handle dispatch and communicate. And then we went out to the launch site for some practical exercises. The entire training for new recruits, well, we do traffic training as we did on the weekend. We also train them in the correct procedure for serving papers, which is another big part of our responsibility. We do training for how to conduct vacation watches for people who ask for that service. They also do training in our self-defense requirements for OC spray, handcuffs and baton training. I believe right now we have approximately 36, and we're all mostly retired people. Some are retired law enforcement, fire personnel, military, but we come from a wide variety of backgrounds. We have 4 going through our FTO program right now.
A non-paid position?
It's all voluntary. I believe last year we did over 13,000 hours, and I was told the other day that we are the second largest group in terms of volunteer hours in Nevada. It's very rewarding, yes. We don't actually have a number of hours, we just have a checklist of things that we try to accomplish. It usually is about 1 to 2 months of training before we cut them loose.
So would you recommend it for other people?
If anybody has the time and the inclination, I think it's incredibly rewarding. It's a way of giving back to our community, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. Applications can be picked up at the sheriff's office at the jail, and then after an application is returned, they go through a background check and an interview with us to see if we think they're suitable.
All right, another police pursuit to tell you about. This one on Patrol Live. We are covering it right after the break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, a traffic stop for speeding triggers a 3-mile pursuit that ends with the driver under arrest for DUI and a second felony offense. Brad Francis gives us those details.
Carlos Ramos has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center, where he's facing 2 charges: DUI above the legal limit, his first offense and a misdemeanor, and 1 count of failing to stop for an emergency vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. A Nye County Sheriff's Office lieutenant driving a marked patrol unit noticed a Toyota Camry on Blagg Road near State Route 372 that appeared to be traveling at a high rate of speed. Radar confirmed the vehicle was going 57 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. The lieutenant caught up with the car and initiated a traffic stop on Blagg Road near Gamebird Road. The driver, later identified as Ramos, failed to yield and continued to flee for approximately 3 miles. The officer conducted a high-risk stop on Pahrump Valley Boulevard near Fremont Street, where Ramos and a passenger in his vehicle were detained. In the police report, the officer says Ramos admitted to consuming alcohol. During the traffic stop, Ramos consented to a series of field sobriety tests. Ramos failed the first 2 tests, and officers stopped the 3rd test, noting Ramos was unable to follow instructions. Ramos was placed under arrest and transported to jail, where he consented to a breath test. 2 samples were obtained. The results indicated blood alcohol levels of 0.129 and 0.134. The passenger in Ramos's car told officers he tried to get Ramos to stop, but he refused.
And Home Depot is continuing their kids' workshops.
We are part of the Kids Workshop program that is the first Saturday of every month between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. And we do it for the kids to come out and build little things each month. They're always different. This month is Fire Safety Month for October, so we have all the fire trucks here and the ambulance, and then we have Ash Meadows over there as well. So this is just a monthly thing we do for the children to help build their creativity.
Yeah, the Home Depot motto is Future Builders of America, so that's Home Depot's thing. Since COVID restrictions lifted, the workshop is now back up and live, so we just want to help spread the word into the Pahrump town so that the kids have something to do.
Something to look forward to as well.
All right, it's officially October, cold, flu, and COVID spike season. Your health news after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
You have some breaking news to tell everyone about right
yes.
now. Yes.
We do have a picture that we're going to show you right now that just came through to our news desk. And this is Jasmine. She is 18 years old, and we have been asked by the family to please ask for the public's help in finding her. We hear that she does have some mental disabilities, and she is missing currently here in Pahrump. If you have any information, there has been a police report filed as a missing person with the Nye County Sheriff's Office. You can give them a call, 775-751-7000. Of course, you can dial 911. If you have seen Jasmine anywhere here around Pahrump, they say that she normally would not wander off. And so if you have seen Jasmine, and she has dirty blonde long hair, and you can see that she is wearing red-rimmed glasses there, appears to be a white female, about 6'1", we are told, 18 years old, and hazel eyes. So if you have any information, call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000 or call 911. And for more information, you can find it on our KPVM Facebook page. And of course, we'll keep you posted if she is found.
Hopefully she will be found. And in your health news today, respiratory viruses can really knock you down. That's why it's always better to prevent them rather than treat them. That goes for a cold, the flu, and certainly COVID-19. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Susan Ream says vaccines are your best defense against viral illnesses this time of year.
We have wonderful vaccines available for influenza and for COVID. We can reduce the chance that people are going to get really ill, and maybe in some cases eliminate the possibility. The vaccines aren't perfect, but they're much better than not getting vaccinated.
Dr. Ream says vaccines are the best way to stay healthy, but adds that not all illnesses are preventable with vaccination. She says we'll likely see more cold and flu this year, in addition to COVID. That's because people are not masking as much, and we've had less exposure to respiratory illnesses throughout the pandemic. So it's important to add extra layers of protection.
Some of the things that we can do to reduce the exposure to any respiratory virus this year are things that have become very familiar to us. Distancing, staying out of crowds, wearing a mask, hand washing are all things that will reduce exposure.
And vaccines for the flu and COVID are recommended for everyone ages 6 months to 19 and older. And it's safe for everyone to get both at the same time, according to many medical experts.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Beautiful clouds out there
Yes,
today.
look at that. Fluffy pillows of clouds. This October weather is beautiful. We'll take a closer look at our forecast and see what else is in the atmosphere after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on a Tuesday evening. Feeling frisky because look at the friendly Furley and Fallon. 82 degrees weather twins. Aren't they so cute when they're together? Out in Carson City, 83 degrees. They were chasing out there. Tonopah saw 77 degrees. That's the cool spot in the state today. Goldfield right behind them at 79, and out in Beatty it was 89. Big burly desert degrees. 93 in Amargosa, that's the hot spot, and Vegas at 89 feels extra mighty fine. Out in Death Valley, 105, not too bad. And here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. 90 degrees, that's our current temperature. It was 92 just a shade earlier. We got winds out of the west, northwest to the tune of 6 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. Humidity, not really much of a factor, 17%. Feels pretty good after all that swampy monsoon season, don't you think? Sun rose this morning at 6:41, setting this evening at 6:23. It's early. It's going to be a gorgeous sunset under clear skies tonight. Star watching primo as we head to a low tonight of 62 degrees. And as we head on into the rest of the week and the weekend, what do we see? Well, about 3-4 days of nice sunshine. A little bit of cloud cover starting to creep out over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But no real talk of rain. Winds under 10 miles per hour. Super pleasant. Temperatures dipping down after these next few sunny days in the low 90s. It'll head into the high 80s on Saturday, Sunday. Will you notice a difference? I don't know. A couple, 3 degrees here and there. Start stacking up after a while, but it's fall time in Nye County, and it's pretty good. All right. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. And again, we want to remind you about breaking news we received into the newsroom this hour. Jasmine Tucker, 18-year-old, is missing.
Yeah, so if you have any information, you can call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. Of course, you can call 911 as well. We are in touch with the family currently, and they are desperate to find Jasmine. And if you have any information, of course, call the Nye County Sheriff's Office and let them know what's going on. You can always remain anonymous if you have any information about the whereabouts of Jasmine. 775-751-7000. We'll return tomorrow night. I'm Gianna.
I'm Unette.
Good night.
Good night.